Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video we will be exploring the table component from end design a bit more. We will be seeing how we will be fetching the data from the server side and populating in the table, and also we will be seeing how we will be adding the pagination to that data and how we can navigate between different pages. Also we will see how we can set different page size. Also we will add sorting on different columns and we'll sort the data based on that. Also in last we will be adding filters on some of the columns, and we will be filtering the data based on those filters. Alright, so let's get started. So we have an empty ReactJS project and showing nothing right now. So for the table data we will be using getting data from a server. For that we will be using JSON placeholder, and from the JSON placeholders we can use any of its data sets. Maybe we can use to-dos. To-dos will be enough for showing pagination, sorting and filtration, etc. So if you go to to-dos, so this will be the URL for on which we will be calling and getting the data from the server, and it has 4 fields in each object: user id, title and completed. And maybe we can use we can show 3 columns, one maybe for id and second one maybe we can use user id, and later on the user id we will be sorting it's on the user ids. So some of them will have user id 2, 3, this type of. And also we can show a status column and we can filter based on the status. So we can add the filtration on this column and sorting on this column. Alright, so let's add a table component, and for its columns let's define it. Const columns is equal to, suppose the first column we can say that its title is id and its data index is also this id, and let's copy it for other columns. Suppose this is the key 2, key 3, and here we can show the user id and the data index will be user id, this one which is I is capital, and the third column we can show the status and its data index will be completed. And for that we can do a custom renderer, and we will be getting a completed variable, and suppose we can return a p tag and saying that if it is completed we can show that status is complete, otherwise we can show that it is in progress, right? So here are the columns. We can add this 2 columns, and for the data source, so let's define data source above. So for that we can just get that in from the state. So it should be data source and by default empty. Let's fetch it using an effect. So nothing returning, and we will be fetching the data on this component load. So we'll be making a fetch call to this URL. It will be get by default, and then it will return us a response and we can say response.json, and after that it will return us the data. And what we can do is we can set data source to that data, and let's also catch for any errors. And for now let's only console the error. And finally what we can do is let's add some loading while we are fetching the data, and finally we can set the loading to false. So let's add a state for the loading, and by default it's very false. So here we will be set loading to false, and before we start fetching we'll set loading to true. Alright, and let's import use state and use effect from React, and we can add the loading to the table component as well. So while we are loading the data, it should on the table component it should show. Okay, the source is not defined. Let's save it. Save it here. So here you go, the ID column, user ID column, and status column, and it is showing in progress and complete, also the user ID, and by default it is showing the pagination as well, so you can move between different pages. And actually that is the pagination prop of the table, and if you pass a false, it will just hide the pagination and will show all of these records. So we have 200 records. So let's add pagination to 2. So by default this page size is 10, and we have 200 records, so it is showing 20 pages, and we can also change the page size from here as well. So if it is 100 pages per column, it is 100 records per page, so it will be showing 2 pages. So if it is suppose 20, showing 10 pages, 10 into 20 is 200 again, right? So also by default it is showing the first page. If you want to show suppose the third page, we can pass here as that its front page to be suppose third. So here you go, it is showing the third page. And also if we want to set the page size programmatically, we can make it suppose it is 15 pages, 15 rows per page. So here you go, if it is 15 per page, right? And right now if you click on these ones, it will not affect because we have hard coded this current and page size. So for that if you want to make it two-way, so changing it from here, it should change it here, and if you change it here, it should change it here. So for that let's add 2 more states. So for that use state, you can say a page, so the first page was 1, and then the page size, suppose default page size we can say 10, and here instead of 3 and 15 we can say it a page, and this is a page size. And there is another method on change, we will be getting page and page size. Okay, and here we can set page to the page with whatever is passed, and set page size to the page size. So what it will do is, if you will change the page size from here, it will set it here, and if you change the page numbers here, it will set it here, and that will help. Got it? By default 10 page 10 records, whatever we have defined here, and first page is showing here. and if you move now it will reflect, right? And if you change the page size here as well, it should also reflect. And also suppose right now we have all of the records here, so if we want to fetch the records from the servers page by page, so what we will be doing is we will be showing there is another parameter called total. So we will be showing, suppose we can say the total is suppose 500. It will show that the pagination accordingly, so making 50, it is saying that 50 records per page and 10 pages, so that makes it 500 records. And on change of any of the page, it will call our this method on change, and here we have set the page to states page and page size. And also if we want to make fetch the records according to the page size, we will make the API call here with page and page size, and we will update the data source accordingly, so that the table is updated according to the selected page and page size, and the data is coming from the server side, right? So that is on the pagination. So let's continue and add some, suppose, sorting on the user IDs. So for that what we have to do is add a sorter function here for that particular column, and it will give us two records. Suppose we can say record 1 and record 2. So we have to return which of the record is greater than the other one. So what we will be doing is we will be returning record 1 dot we can say that user ID, if that is greater than record 2 dot user ID, right? Save it. Here you go, it has added the sorting this icons, and if you click on it, it sorts. So right, sorting for the current page. Go to the first page, sort it again, 1 and 10. Second page, sort it, right? So 8 towards 6, and if you sort it to the ascending, it will ascend 3 to 5, right? So it actually what it does is it sorts all of the data and load the second page from that. Okay, so let's add filters on the status column. So we will be filtering based on the in progress and the complete status. So for that we will be adding the filters key here, and those will be two filters. The text will be suppose complete, and it's for the complete its value was true, and if the text is in progress, its value was false, right? So let's save it. So it has shown the filter icon, and if you click on it, it shows complete and in progress status, right? But it will doing nothing right now because we have not added any logic on that. So let's add that logic here. So on filter, what we will be doing is filtering the data. So So it will give us the value and also the record with got filtered. So what we'll be doing is we can say record dot if the record dot completed is equal to value, we want to show it, otherwise we would not want it to be shown, right? So now if we filter on suppose the complete, it will show only the complete data, and if it is in progress it will show only the in progress rows, and if we want to show both, it will show both in progress and complete. In progress, only in progress, sorry, complete, only in complete, and in progress, only in progress. And if you reset, it will reset to the default, it will be showing all of the values, right? So that was the pagination, sorting and filtration. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and if you like the video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comments how you find this video. And thank you for watching. See you in next video.